So just sharing a bit of my experience with depression, lived experience. I got depressed for the second time in my life around the age of 28. It was very different to the first time I experienced a bout of depression around 18, because when I was 18 I kind of pulled out of life altogether. I withdrew from life. Sorry about the flies. Camera's jumping around a bit. When I was 28, I was a professional. I was an accountant. I had a full-time job. I had, responsibilities to keep up with, and it wasn't an option to just withdraw from life. I couldn't just go into my bedroom and make a cocoon under the covers and just get away from the world. I had to keep showing up every day, and it's a very different experience having depression and showing up in the world. The catalyst for it really was having a conversation with my boss. I was running a project at the time at work, and I wanted to spend more of my time on the project and less of my time on client work, and he just wasn't going to have that. He wasn't okay with that, and it kind of rocked me a little bit. Because I was under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure trying to manage this project as well as my normal client work, and I wasn't coping. Honestly, I didn't cope. I got really anxious. I would dread going to work in the mornings on the train. I started to develop insomnia, so I wasn't sleeping at night. I would be thinking about this work project all the time, like in the shower, eating dinner, just constantly. And was terrified of failure, terrified of letting people down. Colleagues at work, my bosses, my clients. And I just kind of carried that around with me on my shoulders as a weight for about 6 months, feeling really deeply depressed, really anxious and terrified of something going catastrophically wrong. Sorry, the camera's jumping around a bit. And it was a nightmare. I absolutely hated it. I was functioning in the sense that I was continuing to be in the world, but I was always only just functioning, let's say that. I really was struggling to manage, and I felt like life was pointless and had no purpose, and I didn't know how I was going to get through another day, let alone another week or another month. So I found it really difficult, although I was trying my best to keep up an outside persona of everything's okay to my friends and family and my partner at the time. So I'm just checking in with whether there's more to say on that. I would categorize it as burnout, as professional burnout, work burnout, but it manifested as depression. And I think it's a common experience for people in the world. I think that sort of depression is very, very common, actually, more common than most of us think, because it's a depression where we just try and push through. We just try and function anyway and try and do the best we can in life. And I think a lot of people out there are struggling and doing the same. So anyway, I just wanted to share a bit about that experience that I had, and maybe, it resonates for you. Maybe you can relate in some way to something you've been through or something you're going through now. And yeah, I hope that's helpful.